Welcome back to the channel, guys, for another ball review. Today we're going to look at a release by Ebonite, the One Reverb, an asymmetrical piece that maybe make its way into my arsenal, either for league or for PBA Tour events, but we're going to see. Before we get into this thing, make sure you do that thing, hit that like, subscribe, turn on that bell for notifications so you know my content hits the internet. We are here at Pin Chasers Veterans this morning. I am on a fresher house shot. I'm just filmed the Hammer Effect Tour video, so there's maybe one and a half games on this lane right here. So we're gonna test out this the One Reverb and see how it rolls. It does feature a hybrid cover, so it should give me, with polish, so it should give me a little more length, a little more snap compared to maybe like the Vaporize, or we're gonna do the Theorem Pearl here eventually. So what are the core numbers of this ball? All right, the core looks like that, and the numbers are right there. How did I lay this ball out? All right, so this one I remember. On the Hammer Effect Tour video, I couldn't remember the layout, but this is one of the first ones I drilled out. And I wasn't sure how to lay it out because going from one brand to another, so this layout was a little bit different than my standard layouts. 5 by 4 1/4 by 2 1/4 VLS layout. So I did that pin buffer on the VLS system. I did go a little higher, 1/4 of an inch higher, maybe just to give it a more responsive down lane. And the dual angle layout conversion that I use is going to be right there. All right, let's stop yapping. Let's see how this one works. All right, so there is a little transition on this lane, which is probably where I would use this ball, since it is a hybrid and it has polish on it. So it's going to give me more of a skid flip type of motion, or skid snap, however you want to describe it. So many different ways to describe it. So we're going to start a little farther left than I would if it was a super fresh house shot. Let's see. All right, so there is a little transition. This ball, for the core strength, it does want to pick up a little bit earlier, kind of like the Vaporize, where it's a little bit, even though the cover is cleaner, the core wants to take over a little earlier for me than I'm expecting. So I'm gonna have to move a little bit left. As you can tell, it is, for the way I laid it out, it is a little snappier down lane than what I would want, but it could get some use if I maybe change the cover a little bit. I have scratched it a little bit just to help it, and I might have scratched it a little too much so far. I gotta let it shine up. Well, we'll see as I experiment with ball-on patterns and the different surfaces. That was really around it. Yeah, a little bit around it, but which kind of what I need to do with this one. This one seems like it's going to be not as versatile as kind of maybe the Hammer Effect Tour or maybe the Pure Envy for me. It looks like it's going to be more conditional, where I'm going to need to get left and throw it right, kind of like the Envy Tour. Like if you get a chance to watch some of those videos after you're done, where the Envy Tour had to go more left to right with it, with how quick I made it down lane. It's pretty much the layout, that second pin buffer number for where the mass bias is. I made it probably a little too far to the right, but I wasn't sure when I drilled this ball how strong or how weak it was cover-wise, since I was coming over from the other brand. All right, so move a little left. I still have to come around it a little bit because get the shape, because it wants to be a little bit earlier, so I got to get it to delay a little bit. Like that. Came around it. See, you see, this one's going to be one of those ones where I'm going to have to adjust the surface on it, because with the way the surface is, which is right there, it has, I think it's 1500 with the compound, which is mostly on most of their pearls. It's just not fitting to what I want to do with it. When I get into too much dry, it's too early because the core's taking over, and then when I get into oil, it's skidding a little too far. So this one's one of the ones probably that I'm going to have to scratch up a little bit just to fine tune the cover, so it gets, so that way the ball's making the right motion for my eyes. All right, so that was a little too far left to right already, because I'm building my own cliff here. I'm trying not to, but let's see. Let's go a little straighter, because make sure it doesn't pick up too early like the first shot did. Oh, that's way out there. Wheeling, baby, wheeling. But that's a nice motion. I can trust it left to right. It's gonna, the core's gonna take over. It's gonna tip, and it's gonna make it all the way to the pocket. If I have the right speed. That one was a little slower, so it helped it tip a little bit more. If I would have thrown it a little firmer, it probably would have wiggled a little bit too much, and then it wouldn't have been what we wanted to see. All right. still a little straighter, but not so far to the right down lane. Let's try that, because that one was a little too far right early down lane. We don't want those big angles. Okay, so we're seeing this one does give me under over. Okay, if this one's going to be one of those where I do need more dry down lane and not too much dry in the mid lane or before the mid lane, because then it won't. The core is going to take over. It's not going to push through it like I need it to. It's going to kind of locked up like that first shot. Where now I'm in more oil, it's getting a little confused. So what should we do? Maybe scratch it up a little bit. Let's throw a couple more shots first. We're probably not going to use it on, I mean, I have used it on a house shot for a game or so on my second shift league, but really hasn't got much use, because when those lanes start drying out, it gets too early. I can't get it down the lane far enough. See if I throw a better shot. There we go. Yeah, so got a little bit under over action. I get too much in the dry too straight, it's picking up early. If I get in too much oil and throw it to the right, it's getting a little too far. All right, TV timeout, and we're gonna scratch this one up just a little bit. All right, so I scratched it up a little bit, very lightly. I just wanna get into the cover a little bit, get through the compound that's on it. I don't wanna go too much into it because there is 1500 grit underneath this, so it is a little bit stronger than I need, probably, the way it's acting. I don't know, I might have to hit it on the spinner with 2000, but we'll see how things go. All right, so same spot as I was there before. It should be a little bit earlier now, so I should be able to move in the oil. We'll see. Almost. So yeah, there it is. With this ball, and kind of what I'm seeing with the pearls, even with the theorem that I used to win my tournament, the 1500 compound might not be for me, for my rev rate and what I'm trying to do and what patterns I bowl on. I might have to get through the compound a little bit, maybe just take it off of there and use maybe 1500 or 2000 without the compound to get a better ball motion out of all these, because the compound is just giving me too much under over. But I mean, if you have a higher rev rate, the compound might work. If you have even a lower rev rate, the compound might work. But for me right now, what I'm seeing with it, it's not working for me on this. All right, so now I can move more left, because now I know it's going to dig in the oil. A couple more shots, and then we'll move to the right. I mean, well, I'm not going to move to the right. Some more shots, and we'll finish this up. There we go. Now that was it. I'm getting through the compound. I'm getting rid of the under over. It's cutting through the oil. It's getting more of a smoother motion, which is fine when I'm in more oil. But maybe when I'm using this, I might use it on medium to shorter patterns in transition. That way when I do get left, I can throw it more right, because I know it's going to snap harder and roll more forward rather than snap too hard and be too continuous. I mean, too continuous slash angular. Continuous slash angular, like maybe the theorem will be. So it's going to fit right above my theorem, and probably right, but it's going to be close to the vaporized, because those covers, those cores are probably pretty close in numbers. All right, let me throw one more, and then we'll finish this thing up. Really like that last motion. That was more predictable. There we go. This ball is stronger. Yeah, this ball might be stronger than the vaporized. Could be. Maybe that pearl cover is a little weaker because it's just pearl. Maybe the hybrid in it is making it quicker. Can't end on that crap. I do like this motion though. I really like how it's a little bit quicker down lane. It'll have a use. Let me come around this one a little bit. A little more axis tilt. Axis rotation. Ooh, that's a bad one, but that's all right. Stupid pin. Ah, got some more clickbait. All right, guys, this is my ball review on a release by Ebonite, the One Reverb. Make sure you do that thing. Hit that like, subscribe, turn on that bell for notifications so my content hits the internet. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.